Hello Drag Racers, no Ross, just Maddox, but this week I will be giving you my review of episode 2 of RuPaul's Drag Race. We will be going through the top 3 moments, the top shade, my favorite queen of the week, favorite costume of the week, and my predictions for next week. So stay tuned.
What do you want? What's the tea? You tell me what's the tea. What's the tea? You tell me what's the tea.
This week, Ross is on vacation, but I'm still here to give you my review. So, let's start with the top 3 moments. One of my favorite moments was they had a challenge where all the girls were wrestlers, and RuPaul was like the announcer. And RuPaul, as a man, announced, Latrice, the Beast! And I just thought that was the funniest name ever. And she came out and she was huge and she was like throwing Kenya around like a rag doll. It was one of my favorite moments of this week's episode. Absolutely loved it. I also thought it was kind of weird that they had a wrestling episode when last season RuPaul declared to Mimi I'm First, drag is not a contact sport. And then they made a whole episode around it. So, inside joke. Anyway, my next 2 favorite moments actually came from the Untucked episode that aired after this episode, because I kind of felt like this episode was kind of lackluster. There wasn't much really going on within the episode. But one of my favorite moments was the Jiggly Caliente breakdown. All the girls were kind of like ganging up on her and like trying to get her to open up, and they revealed a lot of inner things, like Jiggly's mom died, Latrice's mom died while she was in jail, Fifi O'Hara got beat up and abused. It was just like a lot. It was like a Dr. Phil Oprah moment, and all of them were crying. I really enjoyed that. It was like one of the most touching moments ever on RuPaul's Drag Race. Another very touching moment happened on the after show, the Untucked episode, where Alaska Thunderfuck, who is Sharon Needles' boyfriend, who's also a drag queen, videoed in and like talked to her, and you saw a softer side of Sharon. She was crying, she was so happy, and I thought that was a sweet moment. So that was my 3rd favorite moment of this week. Surprisingly enough, my shade moment this week came from the one, the only, the sexy Rick Fox, NBA player. He was one of the special judges, and he read Dita for filth because she said she was going for a Sex in the City, Carrie, downtown New York City look, and he replied she was going for Sex in the City. It was more like Sex in a Dark Alley. Really, Dita looked a hot donkey mess. So Rick Fox, great shade of the week. This week, Latrice Royale really surprised me. So she is my queen of the week because this wrestling challenge, obviously, she was made for this challenge. I don't know how she did not win this challenge because she was amazing. She came out, she stayed in character. Her costume on the wrestling match was amazing. She was throwing Kenya. And another reason why she's my queen of the week is because Latrice really came out as like the mother of the episode, and she was really trying to help Jiggly Caliente and help the other girls open up, and she was revealing a lot of things about herself. And I just thought she was like a really sweet, genuine person, and she rocked during the challenge. So she is my queen of the week, surprisingly enough, because I never thought that she would be one of my favorites of the week, but she really was. Loved you, Latrice. My favorite costume of this week was by Kenya Michaels. She's the cutest little munchkin. She's like, what, 5 foot, if that. And she came out in this long blonde and black wig, giving her favorite Barbie thing, and they were calling her like Lil Kim, especially when she was standing next to Latrice. They were saying that she's Lil Kim and Latrice is Biggie. But Kenya's costume was absolutely adorable. Loved every second of it. This week, Madame LaQueer and Chad Michaels won the wrestling thing. And I don't know how, but they did. And I did not agree with it at all. I did not like that choice. Like I said earlier, I thought Latrice was the best during the wrestling challenge. But whatever. They chose those two. The bottom two queens this week were the Princess and LaShawn Beyond. They had to lip sync for their lives to Bad Girls by Donna Summer. It was no contest. The Princess turned it out. LaShawn Beyond barely knew the words. She took her shoes off as soon as the song started. She was just a mess. So obviously the Princess sent LaShawn Beyond home. And then backstage, LaShawn was like, oh, I think they made the right choice. What am I going to do with $100,000 anyway? And with that attitude, whether she was joking or not, girl, I'm happy you're gone. And actually, no one else liked her outfit. I kind of thought it was cute. She can turn out a costume. She had on like a pink with like gumballs all over it, and she had like a gumball machine. I thought it was really awesome. But she did deserve to be in the bottom two because everything else that she did this episode and last week was a hot mess. So, bye LaShawn Beyond. Cut. So my predictions for next week, who I want to be in the bottom two, is Madame LaQueer. This episode, all she did was complain. Oh, her ankle. Oh, her weight. Oh, this. Oh, that. She complains about everything. Everything that came out of her mouth was a complaint. I want her to go home. Dita Ritz, need her to go home. I don't know how she was not in the bottom two this week. I thought it was going to be Dita Ritz and LaShawn. And for those who were wondering, Ross did text me all of his things, and I'm going to read it to you. His top 3 moments were Sharon as a fishy queen, because this week Sharon had blonde hair and she dressed up real girly. He loved Kenya and he called her a Nicki Minaj lookalike. And his third favorite moment was Rick Fox, because he thinks Rick Fox is going to marry him, which he's not. His favorite costume of the week, he agreed with me. He loved Kenya. He put, she looked fierce. His favorite shade of the week was Willem saying bye. When RuPaul said, Willem, you're safe, she said, bye, and she just walked off the stage. So he thought that was funny. He loves Willem. I don't. His predictions for bottom 2 next week are Jiggly Caliente and The Princess. So those were my predictions by myself. Where is Ross? Miss you so much. And next week, tune in again, and Ross will be back, and we will let you know what's the tea.
What's the tea? You tell me what's the tea? What's the tea? You tell me what's the tea?
But Milan came out, and we both were like,
Who is that?
Looks really good.
And
That's Milan.
and I know Milan.
She knows her.